Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Generic Cap YouTube channel. I hope you're all doing well and obviously staying safe. Today, I made plans to record this video for a couple of weeks now, because as you all know, we usually do get a beginning of the year Nintendo Direct. Even in 2020, we technically got a beginning of the year Nintendo Direct with the Direct Mini that announced a Min for Smash and showed off a couple, I think, of smaller new games. I think it showed off Clubhouse games. So yeah, but we have a full-on Nintendo Direct now. I had planned to record this today anyways, because no matter what, we probably would have gotten a Direct either at like some point this week or next week, and at the time of this recording, the Direct is tomorrow. So I figured, let's talk about predictions, discuss what we can see tomorrow, and then you guys can put down in the comments below what you feel like you'll see tomorrow. Anything that you feel may not make it. There's a lot of things I'm probably gonna predict that will not make it into the Direct tomorrow. Um, but there's a couple things that I do believe that will make it. But we shall look at that right now. So, yes, the way that I am formatting this video is that I'm going to, the first part of this video, or like the first maybe third of this video, will be stuff that I feel like that has already been announced. So, for example, you know, Advance Wars or Kirby. So we'll talk about that, see which one, like those kind of games that I think will make it, as well as DLC for those games, if any of these games will have DLC. Um, so already existing games that are being released, or just games that I think will come to Switch at some point that have already been released on other platforms. And then the other parts of the video will just be predictions that I am making about the Direct we'll see tomorrow. If you guys do not know, the Direct is 40 minutes long, and it is mainly going to focus on first half Nintendo Switch games. And that's something they say for every Direct. It's going to focus on, first half, or it's going to focus on the games coming out for the rest of the year. It's going to focus on what games we'll see until March 2020, whenever, or 20 something, So it will, while that is mostly true, we do usually see at least a couple of bigger projects or bigger announcements that do not come out in that time period that they give out. So that's what mainly this discussion is about, because we mainly already know about most of the games coming out for the first half of this year, or at least until I think June. I think two of these games that we know are coming out this period did not have dates, but we kind of expect them to be like summer and spring, or spring and summer. So yeah, but let's get on to the first couple of things that I feel like will be in this Direct no matter what. If they're like 100% guarantees. So for this section, I have about 4 things that I feel like will make it. First of all, I do want to explain how I would like do the Direct this time, like how I think Nintendo may be doing it. I think it's gonna be like the usual format. We're gonna watch it. Obviously, that's obviously, but the way that they present it, I think it's going to be. Usually, we have in the directs a game at the beginning, or like a game or announcement. So sometimes it was a Smash character, but we start off with that usually. Then in the middle, we usually have either another announcement, or we have a specific segment for 1 or 2 games, and then we usually end off the Direct with something major. So a year ago, we ended off with Splatoon 2 or Splatoon 3. At E3, we ended with the trailer for the Breath of the Wild sequel, and in September of last year, we ended with Bayonetta 3 first trailer. So that's what I think. Well, I think what we'll see tomorrow is very similar to what the Direct in February of last year is going to be. Obviously, we're not going to start with Pyra and Mythra, because that's we're not going to start another Smash character, but and we'll get into that later. But I do think we're going to start off with a game from the franchise of Pyra and Mythra. It's like a little spoiler for later in the video, but there's gonna be a game that they're gonna announce at the beginning of the direct, and then I think the middle is they're not gonna be an announcement in the middle. I think it's actually gonna be focusing on at least one of the three games that we know that's coming out before. Well, we don't know if Splatoon 3 is coming out before summer, but I think everyone's expecting that to happen. So I think we'll see at least one of those three or one of the three games that are at least slotted for probably at least by the summer to come out, and then I think we're gonna end on a major game announcement. I don't think we're gonna get another trailer for any games unless they end off the direct on like a Splatoon 3 trailer. But I feel like we've already seen enough of Splatoon 3s that we don't need that to be like the ender. The ender, like obviously the Bayonetta trailer was huge. The Breath of the Wild trailer was huge because we hadn't seen much of those games yet. We pretty much already have an idea about what Splatoon 3 is going to be, so probably don't need a trailer. And I think the first trailer they ever showed off for the game was pretty good in like demonstrating. We saw a couple new weapons. I think we saw a map or two, and then in subsequent footage since that announcement last year, we have seen a little more clips of the game. We've seen some of the story. So, but yeah. So the first game I think that is a lock for this direct, just because it's coming out in a month and a half, is Kirby and the Forgotten Land. I know they've out of the three games that have been announced for this period, pretty much, this is the one that's gotten the most press and the most like information put out about it. So, I mean, obviously, it's also the one that's coming out in the nearest. It's the one that's closest to being released right now. But this is one of the only games that I'll mention today that's already gotten two trailers or like two like glimpses at it. Just because I think they released a trailer about a month and a half ago, I think. But I think this is a lock. While I would not be surprised if this game is the big middle one, I kind of don't want it to be just because we already know so much about it. But again, I think we're going to at least get like one of the headlines to be about this game. And yeah, if you guys did not know, this game is going to be co-op. So maybe they talk a little more about that. Maybe they show off a couple new bosses. Maybe they show off a couple new copy abilities. There's going to be leaderboards. I'm seeing on the website. I'm looking at the website right now. There's going to be leaderboards, and there's going to be different bosses. Obviously, it's 3D, so it's something new for the Kirby franchise that hasn't really been done with the franchise before. And the game is going to be 6 gigabytes, around 6 gigabytes, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, there's not really much more to say about this because we already know kind of what Kirby is like, but obviously this is like a new, different type of rendition of Kirby. But I still think, I mean, obviously we're probably gonna know a lot about the game just because it is Kirby. The game is already E10. Let me look at this. Let me see what rating Star Allies had before we move on. But that could be so indicative of what this game's gonna be like. Okay, Kirby Star Allies was also E10, so that gives you like a range. Obviously, I don't think this game will be like Star Allies. I know a lot of people do not like Star Allies because Star Allies was like extremely short on the length of how much game time you had, I guess. But I think this is gonna be the Kirby game for this console. I think Star Allies was like, I think a lot of people, even though I think this game is not, I don't think this comparison's as like suitable, but this game would be like the Triple Deluxe and Project Robobot for the 3DS, and then this game would be like the Planet Robobot, and Triple Deluxes would be like Star Allies, I think. And a little confusing, but I think that's how this will be pretty much portrayed, I guess. We'll get Kirby's gonna be in this direct. And we'll probably see some new abilities, maybe some new boss, maybe some new locations. But if this is the major, middle game that we get, that's cool. But and that only takes into account if that's what they're doing, where the middle is going to be a previously announced game that we get a much more wider glimpse at. Obviously, the middle could be like it was in E3 of last year, where we had Metroid Dread, um, and we had like Metroid Dread, like WarioWare, and like a little bit like very close to each other. It could be another game announcement, big game announcement. But and if this is the case, if there is a big segment, I think it'll be Kirby, or going to the next game, Advance Wars, 1+2 remake, or I don't think it's called a remake. Sorry, I have like notes that I did. Reboot Camp. So Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp. Again, this game was already supposed to be out. It was supposed to be out in December of last year. The same day that the Brain Age Academy, not Big Brain Academy, Big Brain Academy for the 3DS came out. If side note, if you guys have not played that game, it is pretty good. Obviously, it's not for everybody, but if you can find it on a sale at any point, like I think Target has it a part of a sale thing that they're doing right now, where you buy two games or two anything. You can buy two books and then get one game free. You can buy two movies, get one game free. You can buy two of anything that they have available for this through this promotion, and you get another thing for free. But anyways, Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp. We don't know much about this game, even though it was supposed to come out last year. So I think we've only seen one or two trailers. Maybe I don't know if they released. I think they were just released like a picture of the game, or like a picture just like saying that they delayed it. So I think we've only had one trailer. Yeah, the website only has one trailer, but there's a bunch of screenshots on the website. But that's okay. Anyways, it is gonna be the Advance Wars that we're probably used to. From obviously, it is a remake of the first two games. So I'm not sure how far we'll go into like different changes. Out of the three games that we know, Kirby, Splatoon 3, and Advance Wars, I'm kind of going also in release order for these games. I think that we will see Advance Wars probably not be that middle, or probably not have a huge segment. You probably have a date announced, which it's been rumored because I think it was leaked on the eShop that it is going to be April 8th. So that is exactly 2 months away, I think. Let me make sure. I think it's either April 8th or April 4th. April 8th is the Friday, so the April 8th. That's been rumored for a little while now. So, yeah, if it is April 8th, then I think we'll get that announcement here. I think we'll see some gameplay, maybe a voiceover clip, something from the game. Maybe some new modes if they're adding new modes to the game. Something different just to differentiate the remakes from the originals. But I don't think we'll have a lot about this game. I think we'll get a trailer probably closer to release, or maybe an overview trailer that goes a lot more into depth about this game, since it also is going to be online. So, and they could do updates and stuff. So, yeah, that's going to be cool. It says on the website it's going to have in-game purchases. I think every recent game's had that, where but it does not say it's going to support cloud saves. But anyways, so it might have DLC. We'll see. I have something in game to buy. Maybe buy tanks or something. I don't know. But yeah, there's not really much more to say about Advance Wars. It's very exciting. These two games that I've already spoke about are very exciting. But I think the game that most people are probably excited for the most out of these three will be Splatoon 3. So, looking at Splatoon 3, again, I think that is probably the one that most people are excited for. It is going to be like the bigger game, I think, of the three. Obviously, Kirby is going to be huge. Advance Wars is probably going to be pretty big. But Splatoon 3 probably be the biggest just because of everything that Splatoon has going for it. And I think out of the three games, I think this would be the middle game, just because we don't know much about it. Obviously, we know more than we know about Breath of the Wild, the sequel to Breath of the Wild, and Bayonetta 3. And I don't think they will just release another trailer just at the end of the direct for it, but they could show off, story mode. They could talk about the story mode. They could talk about multiplayer. They could show maybe a couple new maps. They can give the game a release date, though they might just say summer 2022, and give the game a release date on Twitter in a couple months, maybe 2 or 3 months. Um, but yeah, that's we're gonna see if or probably. I think these three games we're gonna see no matter what. But how long their segment will be in the direct or how much we'll see about them, I think that's the most arguable point. But I think Splatoon 3, they'll show off some characters and maybe they'll show off um, maybe like a level in the story mode, maybe just a part of that level because they probably don't want to spend too much time on that. But something substantial I think we'll see from it. I know there have been a lot of rumors about what we'll see from these games. Um, like I think some of the insiders, quote unquote insiders, have said that like Advanced Wars will show off like different modes, so maybe some multiplayer modes, some stage builder stuff, quality of life stuff. Forgotten Land will have different modes again. Maybe show off a couple collectibles. And Splatoon 3 will show off again another couple modes. Maybe some characters, stuff like that. But that I got that off like a Excel sheet I saw from Samus Hunter on Twitter. I'm not sure how reliable they are, but I know that they technically said that the direct will be this week. So, take that as you will. And that's what they said. We might see that stuff, but that'd be cool. I haven't seen much more stuff about like what we'll see tomorrow. Obviously, tomorrow we'll probably get some leaks. I know Kirby leaked a little before because Nintendo officially put it on the website by accident. So yeah, but I think those three games right there will be major. Not the major, but those will be the three games that we already know about and that we'll see. And I've spent already 17 minutes talking about those games. Okay, so going into the last thing I think we'll see during this thing, during the direct, during this, during the February 9th, 2022 direct, will be NSO updates. It probably won't be a big part, but I do think we'll hear about NSO for just a second or two. Not literally a second, probably like a couple, maybe like a minute. They'll spend the NSO. Maybe they'll show off, the game that's coming after Majora's Mask. Maybe they'll talk about, if any of these games that have already been released, like, another spoiler, if Mario Party does get a DLC pack or something, maybe the DLC comes with the NSO update or NSO if you have the expansion pass, just to give it a little bit more, a little more content for the price you're paying for it. But yeah, I don't think we're gonna see a lot about NSO. It's something I wanted to include. I think it is the last thing that we're pretty much guaranteed to see. If I had to say anything will not make it into the direct, it would be this, because they could just release this as like a video after the fact in a couple weeks. But obviously, if we do get Mario Party DLC or something, and it would be good to point out that these things or like a DLC will also be added, like the Animal Crossing Happy Home Design or Happy Island designer. Oh, Happy Home Paradise. Just like Happy Home Paradise was on, or Happy Island Paradise. I think, the Animal Crossing DLC. Just like it was added to the expansion pass. I think if anything, if we do get some DLCs during this presentation, that's what we'll see. But then speaking of that, the next part of these previously announced maybes. I called the first part guarantees. This part to be maybes. And then on my notepad, I gave them the guarantees 95 to 100%, and I gave the maybes 50 to 75%. So, there's a little bit, obviously some 75 to what happened to 75 to 94%, but these are maybes. And on the maybes, I'm just gonna go through them because there's not really much more we can talk about, like them in general. I had Bayonetta 3. Maybe we get another trailer for Bayonetta 3. Maybe we get a little gameplay segment for Bayonetta 3. Maybe Platinum comes on for the direct and they say something. The game has a season that they'll be coming out, something like that. But I know it's slotted for this year, so you probably will get it this year. Maybe a character or something like that from Bayonetta 3. Maybe some story, something like that. And then I had on my notepad, I also give check marks to some things that I feel like have the better chance in these categories. So obviously, guarantees had all check marks. But one thing I think we will see tomorrow is Silksong, Hollow Knight Silksong. I don't obviously. I think Hollow Knight, if Nintendo really want to do it, that could be the closer. I don't think it will, but I do think it gets a spot in the in the reel, not the reel, but like in the headlines. I think we get a trailer for Silksong. I think we get something for Silksong, just to confirm that give it maybe a date, give it something. Maybe it's coming out right after the direct or something like that. But I do think that is something we will see. Um, you know, I also let me just mention this. I also find the guarantees. We will see probably Project Triangle Strategy or just Triangle Strategy. We'll probably get a. I know a lot of people are talking about we might get a demo for it. That is probably gonna happen. We'll probably get a demo for Triangle Strategy, and that's basically it. The Triangle Strategy comes out in even less amount of time compared to Kirby, so it's in less than a month now. So we'll probably see Triangle Strategy, and then speaking of which, demos. Okay. We will also probably see, as I mentioned earlier, Mario Party DLC / updates. Again, if it's DLC, I do think they'll add it to NSO because that's Mario Party is such a big game, like Animal Crossing, that like you give the updates. If the DLC, if the DLC is like $10, you give it to free for NSO members. That's a pretty good deal because that, unlike Happy Home Paradise, Happy Home Paradise isn't exactly like online. Obviously, there's online things. You can obviously send pictures and stuff with your friends. You can obviously visit your islands, stuff like that. But for Mario Party DLC, you'll probably want to play it with your friends online, or at least in person. If you're able to do that. You hang out and you guys play Mario Party. So you get the DLC that's for free, or technically for free through your membership. That'd be kind of cool. What they add for DLC will probably be a couple characters, one or two characters maybe, maybe some new stages, maybe two or three. Yeah, maybe maybe 1 to 3 new boards, maybe some new mini games, stuff like that. Maybe some new items. It'd be kind of weird they added new items though, because then that would kind of mess up. Because then technically you can take those items to other boards. You can play on those boards with those items. So maybe not. But yeah. And then this is kind of encompassing all like just third-party games. Obviously, we'll see a couple third-party games, but for just a prediction that I will make about third-party games, I think we'll see the Batman Arkham Collection that leaked a couple days ago. I know there's been a bunch of trilogies or not trilogies, but like there'll be a bunch of there's a couple trilogies that can come to Switch. In some time. But we'll definitely see third-party games. If I had to say, a previously announced something, or maybe since the Arkham games are previously technically released, I think we'll see the Arkham games. Some people have said, we might see. I'm looking at Samus Hunter's thing again, but she said, or Samus Hunter said that we will probably see the Alan Wake remaster. That's something we possibly can see. And yeah, so with that, we'll see third-party games. And then the last three things I had on this section was Mario and Rabbids. I was actually questioning if I should put this in the doubts that the things I doubt we'll see that have been already announced. But I feel like maybe they want to show off something from, maybe if they want to show off something from that game, that could make it. It's not one of the things I check marks. I have check marking next to Silksong, the updates for Mario Party, and then a trilogy. So like the Arkham trilogy. That's been technically like the Arkham collection. So I'm not as confident in the Mario Rabbids showing up, but that'd be kind of cool if they did. And then I have two more things for this section. I had the Life is Strange remasters. I know Life is Strange remasters have not been doing that good when it comes to how the quality of the games, or like there's been a lot of bugs in them. So maybe this does not actually make it into the direct. But I feel like they delayed the remasters for a reason. You know, this would be a good time to show off the remasters. I know they delayed Tree Colors for a couple months, I think. So, you know, this would be just a good time just to tell, you know, a wider audience that yes, the remasters are still coming to Switch. They still need a little bit more time to be better, I guess. You know, they're probably also working on updates for the other consoles and the PC versions of the game. So, yeah. Um, but yeah, it'd be cool to see those. That's the last thing I had check mark next to. I kind of feel like we'll see that. Um, but if I had to change that check mark for anything, it'd probably be Mario and Rabbids. I mean, Mario and Rabbids, it's possible we see it. It depends on when Mario Rabbids is coming out. Mario Rabbids could just be another E3 thing we see at E3, and then they give a date at E3, something like that, from Ubisoft and Nintendo's E3 presentation, or whatever they're doing, Ubisoft Forward and Nintendo's summer presentation. And then the last thing I had was the Pokemon Legends slash Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl updates, or updates slash DLC. This was another thing I considered putting out in the previously announced doubts and maybes. I think if we get a presents, this will be in the presents. So, but I don't know when the presents would come out. I know there's usually a presents in February, but I'm not so sure if they're going to be doing one so close to when Legends came out, and if they would announce Legends DLC so close to it. Obviously, BDSP updates, that makes a little more sense. But if we get Legends and stuff in this, maybe they just mention Legends. That Legends is out. They've put on Twitter Legends sold 6.5 million. Legends is really good if you haven't played it. I love Legends. I love Pokemon, so obviously I'm maybe a little biased, but Legends is really great. Um, but I think, if anything, I think we will more likely see this in a presentation by the Pokemon Company in a couple of weeks, or maybe a couple months. But yeah, I mean, I feel like, you know, most of these things, I think the first couple ones are guaranteed. You know, the Triangle Strategy demo, Sing Child Strategy, Platoon, Advance Wars, Kirby, and then maybe a couple, maybe a Silk Song reveal again, or like some Mario Party DLC. But I don't think like most of this stuff will actually make it into the direct. The direct is only 40 minutes, so they cannot show off a lot of stuff. You know, in the 40 minutes that they have. Okay, so now we're on to basically what I there's been announced previously, but I do not think it will show up on the direct. And that's basically, you know, Breath of the Wild, the sequel Breath of the Wild, Metro Prime 4, and then some indies that have already been announced or talked about previously. That's pretty much the only games I don't think will show up. I know that's like the games that probably people are expecting. I mean, those are the games that, like, if any of them were to show up, those would be the games. I don't think there's been any other, you know, previously uh, announced games that would not show. I don't know. Anyways, obviously, I think if we do see, and I'll get that later in the predictions, if we do see a Zelda collection, I do think Breath of the Wild 2 comes up. I don't think they're going to show anything from it, but I do think they mention it. Same thing if we do get something Metroid related, so the rumored Metroid Prime remake, the first Metroid Prime remake, or the first game remade, I think we'll get a mention of Metroid Prime 4. But if there's nothing from Zelda or Metroid, I don't think we hear from them. I think those two are going to be E3, either at least, they're going to be at least E3 mentions, because I do think the Metroid Prime remake is real, so we'll probably see that at E3 if it's not shown off here. But besides that, I don't think we'll see much of anything. I don't think we'll see most of the indies that we've already seen before. Besides, obviously, Hollow Knight and maybe, you know, Amori. Maybe they want to bring that up again. But that's pretty much it. You know, Sports Story, maybe, but obviously, I have doubts that those games will be in the direct. And I think that is it from what Nintendo has announced, or like basically has been pretty much been the forefront of what will be coming to the Switch within this year, or rumored from the next 2 years. I don't think there hasn't been many third-party exclusives that have been announced or talked about. Actually, let me check before I go into the predictions, just so I can make sure none of the games even appear in my predictions if they're third-party. Okay, so there is 2 games that I feel like could appear in the direct, or 3. The Grand Theft Auto trilogy may appear, may not appear, depending on what they say. The Grand Theft Auto trilogy is coming out this Friday, so maybe they want to give it one last push in the direct. Similarly, we have Rune Factory 5 coming to Switch. That honestly, that actually could be something that we're guaranteed to see tomorrow. Actually, I feel it is coming out right around the time Kirby's coming out, so that be a direct like that would be good to push the game as well during that time. And then the last game, and this is kind of just a personal game that I think we might see. I think we might see the Lego Star Wars. I know they released the trailer just recently, and they gave it a date, but it's possible we see it. Not likely, but it's possible. But I think that is it. Based on the games I'm seeing, I don't think there will be much other games that they bring up that hasn't been announced. That has been announced already. So there's a bunch of maybe we'll see the Legend game. Maybe they'll bring up the Legends, but I think that's it for when it comes to these games. So now we can get into predictions about a half an hour through. Okay, so when it comes to predictions, there's stuff that I want to see that I do not think will happen, and there's stuff that's been rumored, slash, well, it's just been rumors. It's not something that's been leaked. But yeah, so we're gonna start with rumors first, and then we're gonna go into the games that I personally would like to see. And the rumors are basically consisting of Metro Prime 1 remake. So that'd be kind of cool. I have 3 games that I think will appear that are new games, and I think if it goes the format of big in the beginning, a game that's roughly in the middle, and then a large one at the end, I think this is what it will be like. So I don't think Metro Prime 1 Remake appears in this direct. I could be wrong, and any of these games I think can appear. I don't think all of them have the same chance to appear, but I do think they all can appear. The game that I think, instead of Metro Prime Remake, that I think will make it is the new Fire Emblem game that's been rumored for a very long time now. I think a year now. So the rumor started off that it was going to be a remake, but now the rumors have moved on that it will be something that is akin to Three Houses, like a sequel or like just a new game in the franchise. And that's supposed to come out for the spring, roughly spring, summer. So probably in like the July time that Three Houses did come out in. So that is one of the games I have a check mark next to because I do feel like that will make it if it is real. That will make it into this year, and it'll be one of the first games, new games. It'll be probably the first new game that they announce, and that will come out. I think the first one that will come out that they announce. And then the second check mark I gave a game to was a Xenoblade Chronicles 3. I do think that will make it. If I had to guess, like where these 2 games would be, because I think my last prediction, the last game that I have a check mark next to, I think that will be the middle game, or the game that they announced at some point in the direct, not at the beginning or the end. But I think Xenoblade 3 will open the direct, and I think Fire Emblem would close it. I know those are, that's kind of controversial, I guess, because obviously those are 2 pretty much RPGs. But obviously, out of the games I think will make it into this direct, obviously there could be like something huge that just comes out of nowhere, or not necessarily out of nowhere, but just it's surprising to see in the direct, and that could obviously close or start it. But Xenoblade Chronicles 3. And then the last 2 or 3 games that have been rumored slash kind of been confirmed. I don't know. Xenoblade Chronicles 3 has kind of been confirmed, but we have Donkey Kong, the new Donkey Kong game. Um, I still think this game makes this year, but out of the games I have on this, I'm predicting about, I'm not really sure if it will be in this direct. I think it has a higher chance of being in a E3 direct. Um, but again, Donkey Kong is popular, so it'd be kind of cool to see the new Donkey Kong game that has been rumored to be made by the team that made Odyssey. So yeah, I mean, I would love to see that. And then I have as well a Zelda collection. So that could be multiple different Zelda games. The collection I have listed is the Twilight Princess slash Wind Waker collection. That they combine the two Wii U games and they make them into one collection, and they release it on Switch. That'd be kind of cool. Um, I'm not really sure how likely that is, but um, if we do get any Wii U games, I think there would be those two. I don't think we're gonna get Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Um, and there isn't really much else with the Wii U that we can see. So if we do get a Wii U game this year, I think it will be either Wind Waker HD, or Twilight Princess HD, or both in one collection or both separately. But then we also could get a package of other Zelda games that have not necessarily been released on 3DS or not on the Switch, um, or the NSO. So maybe we get like a couple of the 2D games. Maybe a Link Between Worlds, Link to the Past. I think Link to the Past is already on Switch. I think it's on NSO, but maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe Link Between Worlds. Maybe get that game on Switch. Upper quality, like Miitopia. You get the same treatment as Miitopia. Which, speaking of Miitopia, Miitopia was announced last year in this direct, so we could see it. You could see another 3DS game come up, and then the last two games have been rumored were Mario Kart 9. Mario Kart 9 would be huge. Um, if it is announced in this direct, I think they won't show off much of it. I think it'll be like Smash Brothers from March of 2018. They give us a small teaser, like at the beginning we don't even know if it's Mario Kart. It could be like maybe they make it look like Mario Kart Circuit or something. Maybe it's gonna be like it's like an update for Mario Kart Home Circuit. Um, and if that's the case, I think this game doesn't end the direct. If they announce that like Mario Kart 9 in that kind of format, it totally does not end the direct. Because obviously, if you end the direct with Mario Kart Home Circuit, I would be like, why would you end the direct in Mario Kart Home Circuit? They're gonna instantly go with Mario Kart 9. But if it is, or maybe they even open it with Mario. Anyways, I think Mario Kart 9, if it is real, it is an E3 announcement. I don't know if they will tease a Mario Kart game just to, in a couple months, give it a huge, segment in the summer presentation. I think that's the only way that they would do it, though, because I don't know if this game. Because if you announce a Mario Kart game, you probably want to show off, something new in the game. So maybe they show off, like a Nintendo character that's not been in Mario Kart 8. So, maybe they show off um, Samus or something in like the cart. And yeah, and it's like Mario Kart 9 is going to be Nintendo Kart, or like they're going to be adding more Nintendo characters, or they show off a new mechanic in the game. Maybe, um, maybe we go. I don't know. A new mechanic for the game. Maybe Mario Kart 9 has an official stage builder. Maybe they show off stuff like that. But I think if you're gonna show off Mario Kart 9, I don't know if you would do it in the Smash way, and that's why I think it won't appear in this direct because Mario Kart 9 would definitely overshadow any game you show off in this direct. So you have it at E3. E3 is known for major announcements, so I think that's when it would be. But yeah, roughly, I do not think we'll see Mario Kart 9. Um, Even though I'd love to see it, but I just don't think this is the time to announce Mario Kart 9. Then again, March of 2018 maybe wasn't the time to announce Smash Brothers. So, but that direct on March of 8, 2018, I don't think it was huge by any means. I think Smash definitely elevated it. So, I think this direct has a lot more games that are larger, and I don't think it also needs Mario Kart 9. Neither probably the E3 Direct probably will not need Mario Kart 9, but I think that would be the time because there's going to be also more eyes on it. And then the last game, people have been talking about a like a 1-2 Switch like game. I don't think they mean actually like a 1-2 Switch sequel. Maybe they do, but like a Wii Sports type of game, like a Nintendo Land kind of game, like a game that you can play with your family or like at parties. That's like somewhat fun. And a lot of people have been talking about that Nintendo's doing one of those, and that's gonna be maybe like the May game. I could see that. Maybe announced like they release it right before E3, so they don't have to talk about E3. But people during the summer they're having parties, they're seeing each other. Kids are off of school at that point. I'll be off of school at that point. Maybe I don't know if I'll be able to stream the direct from. I think I'll have to just react to it through a video because I might be at school. But well, hopefully we'll see. But anyways, um, that's that. I don't know what we'll see from we'll probably see. This is the last game I gave a check mark to, the party/family game, like 1-2 Switch. I do think we'll see it, because I do think that's something Nintendo would do. But it's not necessarily something that I feel like, it's like a guarantee. Like none of the games I feel like guarantees. Like any game could be announced tomorrow. But then games that I would want to see tomorrow, Odyssey 2. Obviously, if Donkey Kong is announced tomorrow, we're not going to see Odyssey 2. But I would love to see Odyssey 2. The Mario movie is coming out in December, and it'd be cool to announce and release Mario Odyssey 2 right before the movie's out. And I think that would be pretty cool. To see, this year is a lot of sequels for previously for games from the launch year of Switch. So Odyssey 2 would be, a sequel to Odyssey 1. And then I had Rhythm Heaven. It's not necessarily something that I would want, or not something I would want like at the top of my list. But I know a lot of people have been talking about Rhythm Heaven. I do think Rhythm Heaven has a chance of showing up again. Um, you know, it's a chance. I don't know how high that chance is, but it's something we could see in the Nintendo Direct. Um, but yeah, I mean Rhythm Heaven is cool, so I would love to have another Rhythm Heaven. And then I had two other games. I had Kid Icarus. I had that on my notes with a parentheses. Please, I love Kid Icarus Uprising. I would love to play another Kid Icarus. But if Sakurai, I think Sakurai would want to work on that game again. And I'm not really sure if Sakurai has. He's not necessarily far enough away from Smash. At least been working on it while Smash has been out. That they probably would have a game ready for that, like to show off. Unless it's, I mean, but obviously if he's not been working on it, they've been working on their own. You could see it here. And then we have, as you guys know, I love Captain Toad, and I bring up Captain Toad pretty much any Nintendo predictions video. I'd love to see Captain Toad 2 tomorrow, Kim Chapton 2 Treasure Tracker 2, or 2 Treasure Tracking, or something, something really cool. I'm not sure how well Captain Toad sold. It was basically just a mini game made into a video game, so I'm not even sure if they would intend to make another Captain Toad, but I think it'd be kind of cool to see that. But those are games I think we'll see. I have a couple smaller predictions, larger predictions I do not think we'll see at all. But yeah, that then we'll be at the end of the video. You guys, if you guys listen to the whole video, if you guys listen up to this point, thank you guys so much for listening. I know this has been a lot of rambling. It's just been a lot of just me speaking to you. I hope you guys can go in the comment section, just like predict anything you guys want as well, because I'd love to read through that, and I'll definitely respond to you guys if you guys have any predictions. Okay, so the last couple things I have to talk about is, Gen 9 for Pokemon. I don't think we'll see it, but it's always possible. They probably presents again. That goes in like the DLC for Legends and BDSP. We'll probably have a present soon if Gen 9's in that. If Gen 9 is coming out this year, it's going to be in that. I don't think we'll see it in Nintendo Direct, especially since that's Pokemon Company. Pokemon Company probably wants to do that on their own. They probably want to blow up the internet on their own. And then, that's pretty much it. Obviously, we could see, another ARMS. I don't think we'll see another ARMS, but ARMS 2 is possible. There's obviously a bunch of third-party games that can come out. We obviously have Persona, the possibility of Persona coming to Switch. And again, looking at Samus Hunter's list, we have Ace Attorney 7 that could be announced. Let me go back to it just so I can, have a general idea. We have the Alan Wake remaster that we could see. We have some eShop titles. We have a bunch of things that we probably do not know, and probably are super unexpected. So that's why I don't want to go too much more into this, because there's obviously a lot more of the games. Obviously, we could see Luigi Mansion 4. We could see, a bunch of, there's some internal game Nintendo's probably working on. There's probably some new IPs. We probably see a new, there's possibly we'll see a new IP tomorrow. So, that's about it. I would love to see. This direct doesn't have the Smash character that the last 3 years have had. So, that's also a little different. That's obviously hasn't much. I don't really predict Smash when I'm talking about directs as much, so that hasn't really changed the way I look at directs. But obviously, I know a lot of people are looking. Obviously that's different for a lot of people. The last thing I'd probably want to bring up is that there has been a mention that Kirby will get multiple games this year. So maybe for the Forgotten Land segment in the middle, maybe we get an announcement of another Kirby game, a 2D Kirby game, or just an eShop game for Kirby, like Fighters. But yeah, we could see what Grezzo's working on. Good feel. But that is about it. I want to thank you guys again for listening to this predictions video. There might be a little something at the end of this video if I add anything, but that is about it. I again want to thank you guys so much for listening. If you guys have any of your own predictions, please put them down in the comments. I would love to read through them. If you guys if there's some games that I said are more likely than others, and you guys feel like that's opposite, please say that again, because I would love to obviously have a discussion about this direct. But yeah, when it comes to the direct tomorrow, I'll definitely probably be reacting to it. I just don't know if it'll be a stream because of prior engagements. Obviously, I mentioned school and stuff like that, but I will definitely try to at least record my reaction to upload. At that point, I'll probably have to stay off Twitter for a little while, but yeah, that is it. Thank you guys so much. Please stay safe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Do what makes you happy, because that rhymes with Generic Happy.